Welcome back. Now, more than 2 million Australians do it. Many more are set to follow. Working from home has become a great social phenomenon of this century. But is it as good as it sounds?
Now, along with the obvious benefits, studies have found that turning your home into an office can be riddled with all sorts of problems. Here to take us through the pros and the cons, our psychologist Chris Day, who also happens to work from home. There she is at home this morning. And workplace lawyer Sian Ryan. Good morning to you both.
Morning.
Chris, many office workers dream of being able to work from home. Is it really that problematic?
I think there are a few problems that people need to be aware of before they sign on for it. The biggest one is probably loneliness. I think my joke about it is that I don't get out much. I live a very small life, and I think there's the potential for it to become smaller and smaller. But the other big one is people not respecting your work, and so they expect you to do domestic chores and things.
I do a lot of work from home, Chris, and I find that you're never entirely on and you're never entirely off. You know, you're checking work emails through till midnight, and while you're trying to knuckle down in the day, yes, someone expects you to be doing a load of washing. So how do you make the lines of delineation?
I think the best way to do it is to schedule your work as much as you can. And while I'm saying that, I think you need to schedule exercise and socialising with other people as well. But you need to have a time where you check emails, and a time when you have meetings, and a time when you catch up with your other colleagues who don't work from home. And I think you need to shut the office door at night.
Yes.
I'd be hopeless. I'd just be going back to the fridge all day. Sian, and then turning on the TV just for 5 minutes. Sian, what legal impacts has working from home had on businesses?
Well, it's quite significant. There are a large number of people who work from home these days, but businesses have to remember that whether you're working from home or in an office, the legal obligations will essentially remain the same. Employees have to be mindful of that as well. If you're working at a desk in an office or working from your own home, then you are still on work time, you're still bound by the same kinds of obligations.
Does that mean that an employer has the right to come round to your home and check that it's shipshape and safe?
This is a really controversial question. Some employers are trying to do things like install home surveillance so that they can watch employees while they're working from home. I don't think that's reasonable at all. It is quite proper to make inquiries about, you know, occupational health and safety standards, to carry out inspections. In fact, I would recommend that to make sure that people are working in a safe environment.
Yeah, right.
Because it does remain the employer's
obligation. We've heard a case of a person who fell down their own stairs at home twice and successfully sued their employer for slip and injury.
If it's in the course of your employment, if it's substantially in the course of your employment, then that can be a legitimate kind of claim. Absolutely.
How do you fall down the stairs twice? You really have to think about this. Chris.
That's not true. I don't, like I didn't mention any names. All right.
Chris, the mayor, that's what I do if I worked at home. Sorry, Chris, the mayor of London, Boris Johnson, recently said working from home is a skiver's paradise.
He would.
And that it was its usefulness was greatly overrated. Do you think that is the general impression that office workers have of people who stay at home and work?
Yes, and I think your friends and family will be quick to point that out, but I think the proper response to it is to smile sweetly and say whatever. Because people who do work from home know that it's not that at all.
I think that's just the proper response to Boris Johnson at any time.
Yes, whatever. I think that you'll never talk people out of that, so you might as well not bother. Never apologise, never explain.
Well, the government has set a target for 20% of the public service to be working from home in the next 5 years, I think it is, Sian, and many more in the in the private sector are going to be doing the same. So no doubt be a lot of work you're coming away to resolve these issues coming. Thanks very much, Sian. Thanks, Chris, for joining us this morning.
Thank you, ladies. Stay away from the fridge if you're choosing that. and the liquor cabinet.
Well, you could be doing research for our nutritional segments.
In the fridge?
Yeah,
okay.
Indeed.
Excellent.
Oh, look, there's Pete Evans in my fridge. Cool. That kind of thing.
Okay. Straight ahead, America's gun owners refuse to back down. Surprise, surprise. We are going live to LA.
Also on the way, we've witnessed the devastation all week. Now, the question is there a way to prevent these types of fires? A special forum on that coming up, and from one weather extreme to another. Not that Simon is a weather extreme, or he is a force of nature. He's
He's a hot
reporting on
front.
one from WA's cyclone zone. Stay with us.